Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Did you know you can support the channel by joining? Something to think about. Now onto the stories. Case file number 952. Written by Rage 44. The simulation is a master carpenter. I still live with my family. I'm in my 20s. Hey, it's okay, I still work. My parents want to give me an edge, especially in these hard times. Anyway, it's just me, mom, dad, and my brother in this house. A few days ago, we noticed the front door was damaged. A large crack running down the middle of it. It splintered off on some of the sides. Actually, it looks similar to a bolt of lightning streaking down the side, finding the path of least resistance. Weak and old as F wood. My dad likes to fix things in his spare time as a hobby. Usually little things like radios or telescopes. He's handy, so we didn't call anyone to come and look at the damages. My dad was going to repair it himself over the weekend instead, when he had time off of work. He told us it's an easy enough job, just need some baking soda, cyanoacrylates or CA glue, and elbow grease, then paint back over it. His dad taught him that trick. He was a carpenter. It's pretty cool how my dad has all this general knowledge. Saturday morning turns around and my dad heads to Home Depot to get supplies, then returns home, only to find the crack in the door gone, completely fixed up, no evidence it ever existed. To be fair though, if properly repaired, you won't be able to tell at all that there ever was a crack there, not even by touching it. So my dad thought I fixed it, came into my room and told me he appreciated my initiative, but that next time I should tell him because he wasted a trip and money on supplies on his day off. I said, "Dad, what are you on about? Fix what?" Of course, I didn't fix jack squat, so I had no idea what he was going on about at this moment. He said, "No need to pretend, son, I'm not mad. No, I really do appreciate it, just next time tell me." He gave me $5 after that and left me with another Elden Ring grinding session, which I still can't beat. Go F yourself, Millennia, Blade of Mikula. No, but really, I don't know what happened. I didn't fix anything. Case notes for file 952. The universe is a master carpenter. So I never managed to beat Millennia, the Blade of Mikula, either. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a boss in a very difficult game called Elden Ring. It's a FromSoft game. They make other types like Dark Souls and Sekiro. They're very challenging, and it's, often about timing and understanding patterns in the boss's movements and abilities. But Millennia, man, she has like this whirling blade dance that is so hard to avoid. Anyways, this glitch is very interesting, but it's hard to wrap your mind around what would actually solve it. I mean, it can't be quantum immortality, because you remember the door being damaged, your dad does, everyone does, unless the universe itself fixed it. We have disappearing object phenomena. We have duplications, where there's objects moving between in the multiverse. I think that's what causes duplication. I'm not certain, but it makes sense. If some object goes missing in one universe, over there just call it a DOP, and then it appears in a different universe, and for the people there, the copies of us, they perceive that as a duplicating object. Could an entire door just disappear in a different universe? Or maybe they switched? Maybe in a different universe, the door went over there, and you got the brand new one. That's just perfectly fine. The other possibility is just mundane. Maybe your dad just wanted an excuse to give you $5. Maybe he was proud of you. It's a very wholesome, mundane explanation. We can go with that one if you want. I'm glad you got the $5. Case file number 953. Written by Tinkertenorflux. The Red Barn. We're a couple, 22 female and 24 female, who live in a suburb of Chicago. To get to work is roughly a 50-minute commute one way, and on the route we take, we always drive past an old, dilapidated barn. I drive, my girlfriend does not. We carpool since we work in the same shop. This barn was located on a rural road, surrounded by fields and pastures. It's been here since as long as we've driven the route. A few months by now. It sticks out like a sore thumb, literally. It's bright red. Then we started realizing, on one of our trips, both of us simultaneously, that the barn was gone. Not demolished with clear traces that the barn had been there, like a large imprint on the land where no grass grew, compressed dirt, machinery to remove the scraps, etc. there were no signs of any kind of construction or demolition work in the vicinity of this farmland. We both looked at each other in the car. I just glanced at her. Don't worry, I'm a decent driver and no one was on this small road at the time. I pull off on the shoulder of the road, put the car in park, look over to me, her full name is Mila, and exclaim with tremendous enthusiasm, "I know you're thinking exactly what I'm thinking, me, so I'll just say it. Where the F is the barn?" Me was looking at me, both eyebrows raised and looking like she wanted to say something profound, but all she said is, "I have no clue." We both agreed to get out and go look. The property was fenced off, those little wooden fence things. We didn't trespass, but just tried to get a better vantage point. Yeah, nothing to see. No animals around right now. No barn, just flat nothing. We were absolutely certain this was the same road we always take to work, and as we went back to the car and kept driving, there was no barn that looked like the one we always passed by, neither on the drive home. Case notes for file 953, the Red Barn. So you mentioned that the barn was old, dilapidated, I believe your word was. In that case, it's not inconceivable that whoever owns the barn would have demolished it, eventually at some point. Although in the middle of winter, maybe not. Wonder if there's Amish that live up in Chicago. Honestly, I don't know. Or some kind of, off-grid kind of community. The Amish are insanely fast and efficient in building and, I guess, destroying as well, demolishing a building. And I don't know, barns, are they that heavy? Do they need a giant cement foundation? Or maybe there were just posts, and if it was grazing land, or the middle of winter anyways, the grass would all be dead. Maybe they did just demolish it, like they had a whole team of 50 people come in without machines. They just did it all by hand and just moved it out, maybe in a single night, or maybe over the weekend. I don't know if this happened over the weekend. If that's the case, I could see that being an explanation. Highly efficient off-gridders. But if not that, I would probably have to chalk it up to quantum immortality. You and your girlfriend may have died together, and you're in a new universe, and, the barn's gone in this one. Creepy file number 76, written by Anonymous, the Lily Stalker. I've always loved my apartment, until I moved out, for reasons you'll soon understand. It was cozy and comfortable with a great view overlooking a river, a few trees in the way, but still awesome to relax on the patio and grill up some burgers. However, over the past few months, I had started to feel uneasy and scared. Thing is, I couldn't explain why exactly, but I had a constant feeling of being watched and followed. Those stupid hairs on the back of my neck would poke up like my mammary glands on a cold day. I tried to brush off my fears and told myself it was just my imagination, but the feeling of unease persisted no matter what rationale I tried to invent. My fears came to a head one night when I returned home from work and found my front door unlocked and ajar. There was some stuff I was storing in my apartment that had a questionable legality, so I was apprehensive to call the authorities. Still, I didn't want to go in alone. My super was super cool and helpful, always made himself available to me. I gave him a call and told him I thought I heard a mouse in the apartment, if he could come down and check. I didn't want to mention a possible break-in in case he'd call the cops. He wobbles down. Big guy. It's cuffing season. I want a big guy. Oh my god. I was pretending to be waiting for him outside. We both go in, and it all seems normal so far. Nothing broken or obviously stolen. I live rather plainly for a girl in her 20s. I bought some furniture from IKEA. Utensils and plates from Amazon Basics kit, just what I need. So the super does a tour of the kitchen, which is where I said I thought I heard the mouse. Never did, of course. There was no sign of any mouse droppings or anything like that. I said I might have mistaken the sound for the fridge compressor or something. He said maybe, but that he'd get some mouse traps just in case. Don't want to let them multiply if they are around. Gets out of control fast. After he left, I did a more thorough examination and nothing was taken. In fact, the opposite. Something was left behind. A small lily. The flower. Not a fake one. It was real. It was on my bed pillow. Freaking creepy as frick. I am a lucky girl in one way. I don't hurt for money. I left immediately and went and stayed into a hotel before I eventually moved. Super was a bit confused. But I just acted like even the idea of mice around was too freaky for me to stay. The landlord let me sublet the remainder of my lease, so that was cool. Girls, be real safe out there. There are creeps everywhere. Whoever the Lily Stalker is, let's never meet again. Case notes for the creepy file number 76. The Lily Stalker. Yeah, so this is disturbing as hell, especially since most serial killers tend to have a calling card. They want to be known. A lot of it is for attention. There's other factors, of course, but they like playing with their food, I guess is the best way to say it. So someone trying to scare you like that, yeah, that's not good. And I don't want to scare you. In fact, this is entirely the opposite. I want you to be safe. But I've heard of serial killers who had help on the inside from people who worked in cell phone companies. They would provide their location via the cell phone. So if you have a cell phone that's in your name, I would be very careful. I would try to change it entirely. If you could, maybe get a friend who doesn't mind getting a new cell phone in her name. Well, be careful too with that. It needs to be a friend that you don't have any ties via social media, so no one would know that it's your friend. Get her to get a cell phone for you and have it under her name and you just pay her via PayPal or something. That would be a way to do it where you have a cell phone that no one should be able to track because it would be in your friend's name. The other option is just to use burner phones, whatever's not connected to your name. So that way, I don't know if this is the case. It's probably extremely unlikely. But I think the adage of better safe than sorry is worth practicing, especially in these cases, you know. You don't want to deal with a serial killer or just some creepy stalker. And just be as safe as you can be. And with that, we end out the video. Whoa, Dave almost wanted to fall off there. Well, if you guys want him to be called Dave, he has big old eyes. I don't know. Chocolate, maybe? Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, and done.